Alright, start and load. And actually blinking hurts. So that's kind of not helping. Dr. Nanshan Kumasawa-san, what on earth are you talking about? Yeah, I remember that. Oh, Shannon, thank goodness you're safe. But, I mean, I don't think they believed, Kanon? Did they? We'll see. If something had happened to you, George-sama, Just gonna be quiet for a second. A murder occurred before your very eyes, right? Did you see the culprit, or not? That is, how should I explain? Genji-san. Even we cannot adequately explain what happened in front of us. True, Goda did believe it, but I mean, after he saw all that crazy stuff, I would be surprised if he still believed it. It certainly happened right before our eyes. It was right in front of my eyes. However, it was, what was it? Even I don't understand. What are you saying? You couldn't have met anyone except the witch Beatrice, whose location has been unknown since yesterday, or Kanon-kun, who's gone missing. Was it a man or a woman? You should be able to tell me at least that much, right? Oh, Rosa, calm down a bit. Anyone would be confused if two people were taken out right in front of them. Goda-san, Genji-san, there's no need to rush. Tell us what happened, one thing at a time. As to that, how should I say it? Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san had been killed. We understood that much. And it seemed that it had occurred in front of these people's eyes, but even so, they spoke awkwardly. They admitted that they had definitely seen the crime with their own eyes, but when asked to explain what they had seen, their mouths were suddenly shut. I could understand why Aunt Rosa was irritated and flaring up. Shannon, did you see it? When Dr. Nanjo was attacked? Yes. Tell me. Just what you understand. What in the world happened? Someone came to the back door. That's right. Someone came up to the back door. Then, wondering who it was, I opened the door. Someone at the back door. Who was it? Let them finish. And after that, that person was stained with blood and had a large wound. We carried that person to the servant room and Dr. Nanjo immediately began first aid. It was a very deep wound. Like I said, who are you talking about? I don't know. Certainly, in the beginning I thought this was the case. No, I still think that. But what in the world was that? I don't know. In a manner that didn't match his large body, Goda held his head and scratched at it. I didn't have a clue if he was confused because he couldn't remember, or because he'd seen something terrifying and couldn't accept it. And Shannon looked the same way. If she let her guard down, what she'd seen just a short while ago would quickly melt away like a daydream, and she wouldn't be able to remember anything. That's what she looked like. Only Genji looked composed as usual. We shouldn't forget that Genji was acting like quite the badass there, throwing the knife and all. Gotta say that was pretty cool. So the questions were naturally directed at him. However, even Genji took quite some time before he spoke, and he had to gather his thoughts. Genji-san, you saw it, right? Who came in through the back door? At first, we believed that person was Kanon. You see, he was alive after all. My theory was correct. By at first, you mean that your impression changed later, right? Yes. I cannot explain with words what happened after that. He killed Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa, then disappeared. At that time, he was definitely not Kanon. Yes, that's right. It's just as Genji-san says. You really couldn't explain it with words. Do you have the same opinion? Yes, I can only say the same thing. If we give their claims the benefit of the doubt, it means that Aunt Rosa's first conclusion was correct. Kanon had appeared near the back door to the kitchen with a serious injury. Then he had been taken to the servant room and to be cared for. And after that, something terrifying had happened. So were these people so convinced that Kanon-kun couldn't possibly have done such a thing that they'd started to suspect whether it had even been Kanon-kun at all? In other words, that means Kanon-kun did appear. No matter how confused they are, no matter how they muddle their words, that's what it means in the end. So does that mean that, after all, Kanon-kun used some trick to escape that room, even though it was locked? No, that doesn't matter anymore. The real problem is that Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san were killed. Did I already check this? I forgot. Oh yeah, I think I did. Aunt Rosa has claimed that Kanon-kun was behind this from the very beginning. No matter how confused these people are, no matter how much they try to deny it, they're halfway confirming that she was right. But even so, for some reason I felt like their awkwardness couldn't be explained by confusion alone. What did they see? Like they said, did they really see something that couldn't be explained with words? Aunt Rosa, who had decided that further talk wouldn't get us anywhere, concluded her questioning and said she wanted to check the two buddies. Yeah, that's not gonna be a pretty sight. That was something I'd been wanting to do too. The witnesses had been unable to figure anything out, but they'd been shaken. If those of us who hadn't been at the scene calmly looked at the corpses, I mean, can you even calmly look at a corpse? I guess you can after years of getting used to it, but it's not the case with these people here. So I wonder how calmly they can look at the corpse. We might find something. But it was a little surprising to learn that Aunt Rosa was also concerned about the bodies. Even at this point, I still wanted to use any clues I could find to expose the culprit and the truth myself. But it should have been different in Aunt Rosa's case. Hasn't Aunt Rosa prioritized staying safe over finding the culprit? I couldn't really see why she would go to all the trouble of leaving our barricade in the parlor just because she wanted to check the bodies. Maybe she's the culprit. Now that can't be, I mean, she was here all the time, right? We will all go to the servant room together. If we all move together, it'll be safe. Maria, stop playing with the scribbles. Woo! Not scribbles. I'm solving Beatrice's puzzle. Oh, what? No? Didn't you say at some point that you had no interest in solving it because she's gonna take you to the Gold Land anyway, and so, like, she even sounded like she was basically implying that she could solve it at any time in, like, 1 second. But now she's doing it, actually? Beatrice's puzzle? What's that? Show me too. Aunt Rosa, are you, bringing Maria-chan too? It seemed that George Aniki was against the idea of bringing Maria to the bloody crime scene. Yeah, but judging by how her reaction has been to bloody crime scenes in the first episode, I suppose she's it's gonna be just fine. But considering that Maria would be all alone if left here, it would surely be much safer to take Maria with us. In the end, it was just Aniki's irresponsible humanism. We decided that all of us, including Maria, would go to the servant room. You could just blindfold her. Shouldn't be too hard. Strawberry jam. The bed in the servant room was stained with bright red blood. No, not just the bed. The whole room was covered with gruesome pain from countless bloodstains. Good lord. That dreadful scene alone was enough to give us an idea of the repulsive sight they'd been trying to describe. I mean, the most repulsive thing to me was when he was describing his wound and putting the finger in there. Good lord, that was... just thinking about it makes me sick. I want to look too. Maria-chan, wait here with me. George Aniki was standing by the entrance, covering Maria's eyes with his back to the room. He probably didn't want to dirty an innocent girl's retinas with the repulsive blood in this room. That was surely the correct decision. Oh, also, let me check something real quick. Because I had one... I did some... Okay, it's fine. It's working. I did some Resident Evil randomizers the other days, and one of the recordings, the chat didn't show up for some reason. I don't know why, but it seems to be working now. That was surely the correct decision. I was acting tough right now, so I didn't mind. But for the rest of my life, whenever I see red paint scattered around, I'll probably remember this room and start to vomit. My retinas have already had this room burned into them. In other words, it's already too late for me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, the bodies are gone.
Where did they?
Right after they entered the servant room, Goda-san and Shannon-chan trembled. Oh, this music again. I love this music. Just this one note that keeps... This synthesizer note that's staying there is so creepy. We shook, wondering what horrible new situation had arisen to make them tremble again. What happened? What is it? Aunt Rosa also shuddered, raised her gun high, and searched for whatever it was that had made them shudder. But she couldn't find it. It was only natural. They were trembling because they couldn't find it. Hey, what in the world is going on?
The two bodies aren't here.
What does this mean?
That can't be. Those two were definitely here.
Wait. What the hell? Are you saying the corpses just walked off somewhere? That couldn't happen, right? I mean, wasn't the servant room locked? Didn't you unlock the door when you came in just now, Goda-san? Hey, cool, another locked room. So what does that mean? Isn't this the same as Jessica's room? Someone's disappeared from inside the closed room again? That's ridiculous.
I don't have a clue what happened either. When we left this room, we definitely locked it. I don't have a clue what's going on anymore.
Man, I actually feel bad for Goda now. Poor guy, this time. There was a timid, pitiful smile on Goda-san's face that he definitely wouldn't have let show normally. Shannon was the same. Two corpses disappeared, and furthermore, they disappeared while the door was locked. Even if Kanon-kun was the culprit, he shouldn't have a master key anymore.
That's wrong. Kanon-kun isn't the culprit.
Shannon. I believe Shannon. Kanon-kun is not the culprit. This must be the doing of someone who looks a lot like him.
No, Kanon-kun could have gotten a master key. After all, his master key was found in the pocket of Jessica-chan's corpse. And who took that key?
That's right. It was Dr. Nanjo. That's right. Back then it definitely was Dr. Nanjo who searched through Jessica's clothes and found the master key. So if someone had the opportunity to search Dr. Nanjo's corpse, it would have been easy for them to take the master key back. I was just about to say check his pockets if it's still there, but then I remembered that Nanjo is not here anymore. Aunt Rosa searched under the bed and in the locker. By now I also understood what that meant. If you assume there are two culprits, this can be easily explained. The first person was Kanon-kun, or maybe an imposter who looked like him. He finished off Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. The second person was probably the 19th person, Beatrice, whose location was unknown. That person hid under the bed in the servant room beforehand, and while Dr. Nanjo's body was enshrined here, they waited for Genji-san and the rest to leave. Then later they crawled out, took the master key back from Dr. Nanjo's pocket, and carried the two corpses away for some reason. If they then locked the door with the master key, you'd end up with this closed room.
You constructed that one pretty fast, basing it off your reasoning from Jessica's room. With that method, you could create a closed room even without magic, should it give you passing marks. However, interestingly enough, there's one thing you mustn't forget. If the culprit took back the master key as you suggest, they must have known that Nanjo took the master key from Jessica's body.
You don't have to tell me that. You're probably trying to say that it's information only the people in that place at that time could know. Huh, this third closed room was crushed so fast that you're stuck trying to make hurtful remarks like that. There's no art in repeating the same content over and over. I may have managed to bluff, but that move of the witches hurts bad. I can tell that I'm cracking under the thing I want to deny the most. This person's trying to close in on me from two directions. On the one hand, there's the frontal attack, where she tries to force me to believe there's a witch using closed room tricks that only a witch could do. And on the other hand, there's the rear attack, where she tries to lure me into wanting a witch to exist, by strengthening my suspicions of those close to me. In the first closed room, the chapel, she used the frontal attack, but it didn't work on me. So by the second closed room, and now in the third closed room, she's definitely changing the direction of her attack. However, the fact that she is changing the direction of her attack proves that my resistance is having some effect. And she must have given up on the frontal attack because she clearly can't win with it. I tried to settle my unease by thinking these things, but apparently the witch had seen through me long ago.
I will not abandon my frontal attack. A rear attack only has meaning because it advances at the same time as the front.
If I were to degenerate it, man, I should be able to read today, right? If I were to degenerate into only using the rear attack, it would merely result in a foolish plan where my means have become my goal. Have became? Shouldn't that be have become? Really? Well then, won't you repeat someone was hiding in the servant room using that red you're so proud of? There's no need. The premise of your theory is about to be destroyed. Oh really? You refuse? So someone really is hiding. Rosa will destroy your premise right now. Come, let's listen in. How does she know? Can she see into the future? The Monado. Please believe us, Rosa-sama. The two corpses were definitely lying here. The bright red blood on the floor is theirs. Aunt Rosa began to search through various objects around the room and back to Goda-san as she cried out in supplication. Eventually she found something and for a while stopped moving. Rosa-sama, we definitely aren't lying. The two corpses were definitely here. Be quiet. The person who hid the corpses has confessed that they took them to another place. With this. Oh, Rosa showed them a single sheet of paper over her shoulder. What on earth is that? Could it be a letter in a sealed envelope, just like in the chapel? Yes, that's right. It was set here, out in the open. I'll read it. Members of the Yoshiromiya family and its household, have you now reached the climax of the riddle of the gold's epitaph? There's only one way you all can stop me, by solving the epitaph riddle. There are no other options left to you that will result in the suspension of my ceremony. I humbly ask that you take care not to misunderstand your current situation. Searching for me will prove useless. Attempting to escape will prove useless. Trying to deny me will prove useless. Beatrice the Golden. P.S. I borrowed those two corpses for my ceremony. They will be returned to you in due time, so I crave your indulgence. Also, these keys belong to you, so I return them to you now. As Rosa read that aloud, the contents of the envelope lay exposed on the palm of her hand. They were two master keys. The master key that Nanjo had found in Jessica's pocket, which had originally been Kanon's, and Kumasawa's master key. What the hell? So what does that mean? Damn you, again? You're saying I can only suspect the servants with keys again? I won't say it in red, okay? I won't deny the possibility that after they locked the door and left, someone was hiding in this room, okay? If they hid under the bed, it still would have been possible for them to carry the corpse somewhere, but they wouldn't have been able to lock the door. The master key they went to all that trouble to get was left right here. That's right, I'd forgotten. What about the keys specifically for this room, the servant room keys? Indeed, those are kept in the key box in the center of the servant room. There are several servant room keys, but all of those are inside the key box. Which means the situation is exactly the same as Jessica's room. It's not like the servants would walk around with an unnecessary key when they have those convenient master keys. I can accept that they are all kept in the key box. And the other conditions remain unchanged as well. Entry and exit are impossible except for the single door and the single window. Therefore, hidden doors and irregular methods of entry cannot exist. Rejoice, great detectives. And those were both locked. The door and the window do not permit any kind of entry or exit when they are locked. So it wouldn't work to remove the door and make a crack to slide in through or anything like that while the lock is still set. And obviously it is impossible to unlock the door without a servant room key or the master key. It's a pain having to read all these aloud every time. Sooner or later I should think of a word to put this all together and abbreviate it. But you can't repeat that someone was hiding in this room. However, that alone will break open the door of a closed room. Damn it. It's useless. What happened to that spinning the chessboard around thing that you're so proud of? Please announce your boastful strange theory. Spin the chessboard around. What would I do if I were the culprit? I carry the corpses off somewhere. I leave the letter. I lock the door from the inside. Then I just have to escape this room by some means. Damn it, is that even possible? I was told and read that you can't get outside except through the door or the window. Huh? That moment I got it. That's right. The culprit carried away the corpses, left the letter. And since they didn't use a hidden door, they weren't able to escape. That's it. This isn't a question, it's an answer. Beato, before I ask you to repeat anything, I want to check the definition of hidden doors that you're using. What have you thought of?
Very well, I'll explain. A hidden door refers to an entrance or exit that cannot be recognized as such by those who don't know of it beforehand, of course. Even children know that. So in other words, if you can't get outside the room with it, it isn't a hidden door. Ah. Oh, so that's your game. I kept thinking there needed to be some way for the culprit to escape from the closed room. That's wrong. The culprit couldn't escape, so they decided to hide until we all left. During the second closed room, I tried applying this theory to Kanon-kun, but after hearing Kanon-kun was killed and read, I gave it up. After that, I proposed that a third person might have been in the room before escaping through a hidden door. And then for the first time I was faced with the red claim that no hidden doors exist. Now I'll move from there to what I've just learned. The term hidden door refers to things that make it possible to enter or leave a room. In other words, that category doesn't cover things that don't actually lead in or out of the room, even if these things could never be recognized by people who didn't know about them beforehand. So if we had something like a hidden shelf or a secret closet, for example, that wouldn't count as a hidden door. That means the third person from Jessica's room is hiding here, waiting for us to leave. How pathetic. It was all just a bit of wordplay. Looks like the technique should be enough to handle even this third closed room. If there's a hidden shelf under the bed or anything like that, that'll be enough. The culprit's hiding somewhere, waiting for us to leave. The culprit is also trapped in this closed room even now, which means at this very moment, the culprit is still hiding in the servant room, holding their breath. And that means, what the hell? Even though we've been tortured by closed rooms 3 times, at this very moment we've actually gotten the culprit in checkmate. I'm finally starting to see it. Eat this, Beato. Repeat it. There is no one in this room other than us. By us, I mean me, George Aniki, Maria, Aunt Rosa, Genji-san, Goda-san, and Shannon-chan. Got it? What do you think? You can't say it, right? Huh. I'll bet that hit you where it hurts. If you refuse, then say it, damn it. Here comes the next one. Repeat it. I don't know how they're hiding in this room, but if they are, then this solves the second closed room, Jessica's room, at the same time. I finally caught her by the tail. With this, I can explain everything. Witches don't exist, and I don't have to suspect anyone. Alright, starting now, I'll spin it all around. Now I'll have her repeat that. No one exists in this room except your group. Fuck you. Your group refers to Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, and Shannon. What? Let's go back to Jessica's room. When Jessica's corpse was discovered, only Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, Shannon, Kumasawa, and Nanjo were in Jessica's room. Whoops, the corpse of Jessica is also included. Therefore, both in the case involving Jessica's room and the one involving this servant room, no humans exist that you were not aware of. No one is hiding. And I'll say more. No method exists by which the door can be locked from the outside without using a key. Regarding the window, no method exists by which it could somehow be locked from the outside. And let me also say this. You are incompetent. It's nice how she said that in red as well. Dumbass. So it's really a closed room, isn't it? And just when I'd finally managed to think of a way out. If you were hiding, that would fit everything. Just when I thought I'd broken through to your trick. Damn it. Nah. It's useless. For a second, I thought I had it. It was all useless. Damn it. I was so sure that I'd finally seen through her, that I'd seen how she distracted me with her clever red wordplay and fooled me. Just when I thought I'd found a light in the darkness, it disappeared, just disappeared, swallowed up by a blood-red sea. Red, 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 red. No one is hiding, and there's no hidden door and no way to get past the door or the window while they're locked. Have you just proven that it's all impossible? Has the devil's proof been fulfilled with a frontal attack? Impossible. It's impossible. What's wrong with you, Miya Battler? Why are you so confident in your ability to deny witches? Why are you groveling and wringing out bitter tears in a place like that? Yes, what a truly splendid tactic. Truly splendid how you're trying to make me fall over and drown in a sea of tears from my own laughter. That is what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to make me laugh and laugh and laugh myself to death, right? Ushiro Miya Battler. What are you calling magic? I'll definitely prove that witches don't exist. I definitely won't believe in you. You used the power of magic and bullied and killed everyone for fun? I definitely won't accept that. Hey, Battler. Sorry for bullying you so much. I'll spin the chessboard around from my side. I'll stand in your place and show you the best possible move you could make. Wanna hear?
Don't screw with me, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear.
Consider Jessica's room. You were off to a good start, you know that. All that about hiding and waiting for everyone else to leave, that truly was well spotted. But why did you only think of Colin and me, the 19th person? I see. So the hide part of hiding and waiting got in the way, which prevented you from getting any further. Come on, you see what I'm getting at, don't you? It's Jessica. Jessica! If Jessica were the culprit, a farce like this could be easily constructed. She killed Kamakun and carried him off somewhere. Then she played dead and let us walk by. But that's ridiculous.
Oh, that's Battler's voice again.
That's ridiculous. Dr. Nanjo definitely confirmed that she was dead. So was Dr. Nanjo an accomplice too?
That's wrong. I also confirmed that Jessica was dead. Of course, I've never examined a corpse before.
But she was definitely dead. I think she was dead.
No, that's probably, surely, definitely what I thought, but certainly, wait. She was dead.
She was dead.
Jessica was in on it.
And Nanjo, who examined her corpse, was in on it too. And that makes the third closed room a farce, doesn't it?
Yeah, then it's simple. Dr. Nanjo was in on it, so in other words, she's on the culprit's side, which means he was never dead in the first place. We thought his body disappeared after he was killed, but what if he was never in the servant room to begin with? I don't know if I missed that, but what about Kumasawa? What about her corpse? Wasn't she... I mean, she was murdered too, right? So, is her corpse gone as well? They keep talking only about Dr. Nanjo's corpse, so I've been wondering for a while now. Oh. Once again, I should have just clicked instead of opening my mouth. So, if Kumasawa Bacha disappeared with him, does that mean she's in on it too? That's not all. That's not all. The servants who all agreed to keep to that story, Genji-san and Goda-san and even Shannon-chan, were also in on it. Then the one who stole the key from Maria's handbag was Jessica. No, it could even have been George Aniki. After all, if Shannon-chan was on the culprit's side, that automatically makes George Aniki on the culprit's side. Wait a second, just wait a second. They're all wolves. They're all wolves. Not only am I drowning in an ocean of bright red blood, there are packs of wolves clamoring on the banks whose blazing eyes tell me that they'll eat me if I crawl out. Which way should I die? Should I deny everything and drown in a bright red sea? Or should I learn the truth and have my whole body chewed to bits by the wolves? It's either one hell or the other. I can't choose. That's why I'm here. Come to me about that kneel. Swear your eternal loyalty and lick my shoes. He's taking it well, yeah. I think he might need some therapy after this. If you accept me, all of the riddles will be resolved. With my power, any kind of closed room can be created or destroyed. Battler, don't you want to abandon yourself to the joy of surrendering to one with power? I'll make you my favorite furniture. I'll love you so much and make you my toy until you turn to ashes. Now it's clear. There's no longer any reason to doubt. Oh, what are you saying? You kept saying those two were dead, but they aren't here. And now we have this letter from Beatrice, where she's been kind enough to confess that she carried the corpses off. It's as simple as that. I've had enough of this farce. This one Rosa yelled as she looked at all of us with a fierce expression. What do you mean by farce? I said it in Jessica's Chan's room. You can't trust anyone but yourself and those whose corpses have been found. I'm gonna shoot you all. I mean, that's gonna solve the problem, yeah. But how would she explain that to the police? I only shot these people. The other ones were mysteriously murdered. No, you have to believe me. And since we can't find the corpses of those two people, we must not accept that they've been killed. But please wait on Rosa. What do you mean by that? Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san aren't dead, they're alive. We're supposed to believe that they've been killed, but they're definitely hiding somewhere in this mansion, so that they can attack us. How could you know that? Are you saying that Goda-san and the rest are lying? Rosa-sama, Goda, I know all of the Shiromiya family servants. We all swear that nothing of the sort happened.
You all say that those two were killed, but since there are no corpses, we mustn't believe you. There's a chance that you worked out a story beforehand that you're lying. There's a good way to prove your innocence, isn't there? Find Dr. Nanjo's and Kumasawa-san's bodies. If you can't find them, then maybe I'll start listening to your story. But until you do, you cannot deny that you are all wolves. You, and you, I bet you were all bought by that witch, but your eyes were blinded by gold. Do you really want money that much? That's right, isn't it?
Bam.
You want to live the easy life for as long as you live? What value could a life like that possibly have? Rosa-sama, we couldn't have. Be silent. And Shannon, don't get any closer. To think you'd repay a 10-year-long debt of gratitude with betrayal. I'll pull the trigger without mercy.
Who's saying that? How could you? It's too cruel.
Oh, Rosa, it's horrible. A murder occurred in this room, and then the corporate carried the corpses away. All they're doing is honestly reporting what they saw.
Shannon had finally broken down in tears. She had sacrificed 10 years to the Shiromiya family. She had sacrificed 10 of the most brilliant years of her life. She'd believed that she'd built up a friendly relationship with Rosa, and this was what she got in return. You can kill a person without using a knife. It didn't have to be George Aniki to realize that Shannon-chan had been stabbed deep in the heart, that she was shedding tears like blood.
Shannon-san, stay back. Rosa-sama, it is true that I, Goda, have not served for many years, and I understand that I have not earned your trust. However, could you not believe in Shannon-san at least? She has sacrificed a full 10 years in service to the Uchinomiya family. I'm not telling you to believe me. At the very least, can't you believe in Shannon-san?
But even I don't understand anymore. I don't understand. You can't search for an answer without suspecting them. Yeah, bit by bit, I'm starting to understand. It's because we've been searching for an answer. That's why everything keeps going wrong. We don't need an answer. These are all strange murders committed with bizarre magic by the 19th person, the witch Beatrice, in accordance with some creepy ceremony. Isn't that enough? I don't want to suspect anyone anymore. Uh-oh. Shannon-chan and Goda-san were protesting their innocence, half crying. Genji-san quietly put a stop to that.
Enough. What Rosa-sama says is quite sensible. Until we find the corpses, we cannot prove Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa's innocence.
That's right. By Rosa-san's argument, if the corpses can be found, then the innocence of those people alone can be proven. But they'd only accounted for the corpses. Even if the survivors searched the mansion and found the corpses, in the end, their own innocence would never be proven. They kidnapped Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san, killed them in another place, and locked the closed room with their own master keys. Unless the closed room could be broken by a method other than that one, it would be impossible to prove their innocence. But it couldn't be done. They only have one chance to prove their innocence. That can only happen if they meet with the culprit, become corpses, and are then reunited with Aunt Rosa. Isn't that strange? They're innocent if they die, but guilty as long as they're alive, just like a witch trial. Oh right, the enemy is a witch. So everything's cool, is that it?
Rosa-sama, we are furniture in service to the Uchinomiya family. Whether you trust us or not is no business of ours. No matter what assessment you give us, we will merely continue to serve until our final hour. You really are a model servant. I deeply understand why Father trusts you. It really is heartrending that I must suspect even you.
Speaking of Father, what is he doing right now? Genji-san stuck his hand into his pocket and pulled out a master key. Then he set it on a nearby table.
I believe I was given this as a sign of the trust placed in me. If that trust has been lost, I think it only natural that I return it.
He's still busy not giving a fuck. Indeed.
That's a good decision. Those master keys are the main reason you've been suspected several times today. It may seem elementary that letting go of those might clear away that suspicion, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
You too. Genji-san looked at Goda-san and Shannon-chan. The two of them nodded and set their own master keys on the table. On Rosa lay the two master keys that had come out of the envelope on top. With that, all 5 master keys were gathered in this place. In other words, this was proof that all of the servants' service until today had been negated. With even the final honor they should have been permitted stripped from them.
Maria, give me that handbag. Mom, give it back.
Aunt Rosa snatched Maria's handbag, tossed the master keys in there, and held up one of them for all to see. Not sure if that's such a good idea. She was showing us that she now had all the master keys. Well, technically, Maria now has all the master keys. And that sounds like a horrible idea to me.
Are you satisfied now, Aunt Rosa? Now you have all the master keys. Does that satisfy you? Yes, I'm satisfied. Even if I can't trust anyone else, I can at least trust myself. I've been able to get the gun. I think there's a 2 missing there again. Man, translators! No, not translators. Proofreaders, what have you done? I've been able to get the gun and all the master keys for myself. Now I don't have to suspect anyone.
It's a bit selfish.
You all are happy too, I take it?
Well, I mean, if somebody points a fucking gun at you and asks you if you're happy, what can you say other than, yeah, totally? Proofreaders were, yeah.
Now you don't have to be suspected anymore.
It just sounded like Beatrice's laugh. Sure. Uh-oh. At that time, Maria, who alone seemed to be watching this as though it were a show, sneered at her mother. Aunt Rosa reacted nervously to that laugh and turned around.
Keys don't have anything to do with this. Beatrice can open doors with magic. She doesn't need keys. It doesn't matter who has or doesn't have something like that. Don't I always tell you to stop laughing like that? Huh? What is it, Battler-kun?
I had just cut in between the two of them. No, that's not it. I was on my knees and hugging Maria's head. I was crying.
Just stop it already, Aunt Rosa. Maria was right. What are you talking about? Maria, I'm sorry for doubting. I'm sorry for not believing. Better. It was all the witch is doing. The witch is doing. All that stuff about tricks and closed rooms didn't matter. It's just that the witch Beatrice actually exists, and she's really a witch. Because I didn't believe. It's been so painful and so sad. You believe in Beatrice? Yes, I believe.
Well, it didn't even take you 2 episodes to give in.
Beatrice exists. She's a witch who uses strange magic. Bettler.
Maria let go of my hand, and then she was the one holding my head.
That's enough, Bettler. Beatrice existed. You had so much trouble believing, so you couldn't see her. Witches exist. They exist. And will come soon. You believed in Beatrice, so you'll surely be invited to the Golden Land. Very soon now. It will happen very soon.
Hold on. Okay, looks all good. I just got the typical Windows symbol that something is loading that sometimes occurs when something crashes. Not sure reassuring, yeah, indeed.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. There's no need to be afraid, okay? Stay with me, hands joined, okay? Let's think about the riddle of the epitaph. Hither, let's think about Beatrice's puzzle. Beatrice has been saying it from the beginning. She hasn't said anything other than let's play and solve this puzzle.
Right, she did. Searching for the culprit was just a waste of time. If only we had just believed in the witch. After gently brushing my cheek as my tears kept dripping down, Maria kissed my forehead as softly as a feather. For just that instant, Maria's smile, which had once seemed creepy to me, looked like that of an angel.
We have returned the master keys, but our loyalty to the Ushidomiya family will not change. From now on, we will not enter the parlor without permission. Rosa-sama, please lock the parlor from the inside. You truly are an admirable person. When the typhoon passes and the cries of the seagulls return to this island again, I wonder if we'll be able to trust each other once more. If you were to grant us your trust once again, there could be no greater pleasure. I see. We'll definitely be able to understand each other. When the seagulls cry.
Umineko no naku ni.
It would probably be best if we left this room as it is until the police come. Rosa-sama, if you would please lock it. We will return to the kitchen. If you need anything, please command us at any time, although we probably will be horribly murdered very soon. Thank you. If you are a wolf, how shamelessly you speak. And if you are a sheep, then I'm sorry for throwing you into the cage of wolves. Furniture entrusts its fate to the family. If I could regain your trust by giving up this life of mine, I would consider it a great honor.
Man, he's pretty cool.
I hope you all manage to remain safe until the typhoon passes, if such a thing is possible. This is all a rhapsody of blowing winds and pouring rain performed by the typhoon. When the performance ends and the curtain closes, we will surely be able to grasp hands together again.
When the seagulls cry. Aunt Rosa nodded in response. Genji-san turned on his heels. I know that's just an expression, but kind of makes me think he's wearing stiletto shoes. He left the servant room. Goda-san's face was still streaked with tears, but maybe he'd managed to sort out his feelings as he listened to Genji-san's words. His face had been truly shameful, but it had returned to the face of the Gouda-san we knew well. Genji ist auch Kinselscheiße gewöhnt, da ist das hier nichts. Indeed. It's like easy level for him.
I will also be waiting in the kitchen. If you need anything, please command me at any time. If you wish for some warm food, I, Goda, will have the very best prepared for you. Thank you. I can't wait for your breakfast tomorrow. And the boat will probably come by midday tomorrow. Thanks for everything up until now. Your cooking was my only pleasure on Orokenjima. Certainly. I, Goda, will prepare a supreme breakfast. Please look forward to tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he's dead. He's gonna be so dead.
Thank you. And Shannon-chan, tomorrow morning, let's make up and have some delicious coffee.
George-kun? I'm going with them.
It's all right, George-sama. Please return to the parlor. There are no more master keys, so if you're with Rosa-sama in the parlor, you won't be threatened by anyone. You're right. That's how things have sorted themselves out, isn't it? Objectively speaking, I'd say you'll be safer staying with me in the parlor. But I won't force you to stay with us. George-kun, you may stay in any place you feel is safe. You're already an adult.
Sorry.
It's up to you, Warren, with whom you spend the time until tomorrow morning.
Yes, I will decide
With whom I'll spend this night.
Aniki.
Battlecon, stay with Aunt Rosa in the parlor. I'm sure you'll be safest there. Everywhere outside the parlor is dangerous in comparison, so I can't leave her in a place like that alone. It's not like I suspect Shannon-chan and the other servants or anyone at all. I don't want to suspect anyone. The inheritance? The gold? It's all nothing. There's no way people are killing each other over things like that. Yes, I know better than anyone how pure your heart is, Battlecon. No one will blame you. No one.
All the red flags.
Aniki. It's all right. I protect you, Battler. If you're with me, even Beatrice won't be able to lay a hand on you, 'cause I am Ober Beatrice, the master of the Beatrices. I may be small, but I'm still a witch.
Since when did you become a witch?
Yes, Maria-chan, I'm leaving Battler in your care. All right, Shannon, let's go. Yes, Rosa-sama, if you would excuse me. If you have an order, please call me at any time. I'm sorry for saying something so cruel just now. I don't expect you to forgive me until tomorrow morning. But when tomorrow morning comes, let me apologize again. Yes, thank you very much.
George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan left the servant room together. What do you mean one last time? Probably more like the first time. I mean, they had a vacation together and they slept in different beds. Like, I don't think they even went there. They had some huddling and maybe they even kissed once. I'm not even sure if they did that. So better make it count now before the occasion is, they had a hug. Oh, the humanity. Oh no, how indecent. My head is really red now. Yeah, they had a whole hug. That's almost as bad as an orgy. Orgy. Anyway, point is, maybe they should have some alone time now and enjoy it together before they get murdered. Now, only Maria, Aunt Rosa, and I were left in this disgusting bloodstained room until Genji-san disappeared, until Goda-san disappeared, until George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan disappeared. We stood there, shocked. After their presence and their footsteps had completely disappeared, Aunt Rosa giggled as though she just remembered something pleasant. Oh, man, you can't trust them for a moment. That damn furniture. That one sentence made me choke. Why are you saying something like that? There are 5 master keys in all? Who would believe that? It's obvious that some duplicate keys exist. As if we could trust them just because they pulled keys out of their damn pockets. You don't mean that, right? But by setting down those keys, they weren't just letting go of them. You've made all their hard work count for nothing, disgraced it, trampled it, and in the end you made them give up their keys. What's with that parting line? They've shown that they're willing to go this far, and you still can't trust them? Too much. It's just too much. It's a devil's proof. There are 5 master keys in all? It's impossible to prove something like that. You can show that there are 5 master keys by placing them here, but you can't prove that no more than 5 exist. Only a demon or a witch could prove something like that, right? Did someone call for me? Wow, stop it already. Please, Beatrice, show yourself right now. And tell Aunt Rosa I read that there are only 5 master keys. Please, I'm begging you. This can only be proved by devils, by a witch like you. Please, Beato, show yourself here. Tell Rosa that those are all the master keys, and that there's no need to suspect anyone anymore. There are only 5 master keys. There are only 5 master keys. How's that? No matter how often I say it, it won't reach Rosa's ears. After all, it seems there's still someone who denies that I exist, right? Ushido-miya Battler. I accept it. You exist. You definitely exist. So I'm begging you, stop this already. Stop it already. Words alone are not enough. Show it with your actions. Swear from your heart that you will become my furniture. Respect for Battler minus 100. Can you do it? Take off your clothes. Be naked. Then put your hands in the ground and crawl. Clothing is proof of one's humanity. From now on, you will become furniture, so it's only natural that you will lose that right. Then kneel, make your tongue crawl on my shoes. Can you do it? You can do it, right? When you do, I'll appear and say it in red. I'll tell Rosa that there are only 5 master keys. Oh, but of course, you'll never abandon that lordly pride of yours. But you've done well. You've done more than enough, and you're starting to get a tingly feeling, aren't you? For just an instant, you thought maybe licking my shoes wouldn't be so bad, didn't you? And you immediately denied that and felt ashamed, right? Just looking at your expression feels just heavenly. That face of yours is so pathetic. So go look in a mirror and see how low you are naked and licking my shoes, right? Can you see it, Ushido-miya? Well, that's certainly an ending to a chapter.